Good morning, guys. So this morning, we'll go back with our car booking application. So as you can see in my screen, this is the previous series that we have the car booking application. So I will I will be having a demonstration this morning all about the AutoMapper. So if you don't heard about AutoMapper, so it's basically a popular object-to-object mapping library. So we will demonstrate it how to use and why we or when or what's the important why we have to use it. So before I will discuss the AutoMapper, I am going to show you something without using the AutoMapper. So for example, here basically we have our API here gate that will get an ID from our BU country. So our entity BU country, as you can see here, we have four entities. So this is the schema of BU country. We have the ID BU for BU country. Now, what the user or, for example, the business would like to query or to get the BU country, but will not display the ID. So, eh, that's what we are going to accomplish. Why, how to do it? Because our entity view country composed of four fields or four properties, and then we don't want to display the ID. So this is why in our I have created here. This is the gateway ID, and then of course when you get the view country get ID, it will give you back all the properties or the model entities that compose of four. So, because the requirement is just to minimize or to filter out what the object that we are going to display. And also, there's for example, a new property that you want to have. For example, in this one, we are example Paul BU name. So, Paul BU name will be a combination of BU properties and the country properties. So, how would you do it? So that is why in our view models here, I create a data transfer object. So basically, data transfer object, I just put it in the view models folder. So this is our DTO for the country read DTO. So it's for querying. So in this part, I did not include the ID because we don't want to display that from our entity view country. And also, I have here a full view name that you cannot find in our entity view country. Okay, so that is data transfer object that we are going to use so we can filter out what the user or the business wants to query or to display it. So here in our country controller, we can do it by just doing this one. So we can read from the country read VTO, and then we can just supply what the properties they want to assign. For example, the BU, we can get it from the country object, which is from the BU country entity. And then the full name, full BU name, we can just concatenate the country that BU and country that country. So, and then we can return the country read DTO. Okay, so this we are not returning the BU country entity. So it will work. So I will show you that it working. Okay, so let's just run the application. So we'll go here from our booking. So this is the country filtering by ID. Okay, for example, we try it out, and then I have existing video country IDs too, and I execute it, and then I just bypass it. So as you can see in the result, guys, we eliminate the ID. We are not displaying the ID, and we are also displaying the full BU name, which is the combination of BU code, BU, which is in and the country is China. Let's see in China. We accomplish it by doing or having to write a lower plate code when mapping the object, just like what we did here. So what is the problem here? Number one problem is this is very tedious to do. So, very tedious to code. So you have lots of code here every time that you have to map an object to object. And another thing is that it's prone to errors. Why? Because if you need to change something, maybe you will forget that there are lots of things you have to do. So you have to define in your DTO and you have to code here, and sometimes you forget it, it will prone to erroneous or is bug. So it's prone to bug. So that is why we are going to use AutoMapper. So as I said, AutoMapper is a popular object to object mapping library. So it can be used to map objects that belonging to the similar types. So it will also eliminate the need to write very complex or very tedious boilerplate code like what we have just did, what I just shown to you. So now, first thing that we have to do is we are going to get the new Git packet for the AutoMapper. Okay, so we'll just go to the tools and then you can just browse, and then yeah, you have to browse the AutoMapper, AutoMapper library. Okay, so there's an AutoMapper. We are going to use the AutoMapper that extension that Microsoft that dependency injection, because in this series or this in this demonstration we will be using dependency injection as well. So we're using .NET 6 here, .NET 6 framework. So first we are going to install it, the AutoMapper that extension. Okay, so it's not installed. Uh, yeah, AutoMapper is already installed. Okay, so the version, then we just use the latest version. Okay, we install it. So once you install that in your project, so you can now take advantage or use the benefits or the advantages of using AutoMapper rather than creating the tedious code to map from object to object. Right? So we have now the AutoMapper library. So next thing that we have to do is we are going to register it in our dependency injection. So we'll go to already installed here. So just close this one. We are going to go to our program let's see because this is .NET 6. So yeah, okay. So we are going to register here our dependency section builder.services, and we are going to add automapper. Then we are going to configure it. We'll just use abdomen that current domain that git assembly. Excuse me. I will back up. Okay, so now we are able to register the AutoMapper, guys. Okay, so you can use now. I mean, you can now inject it into your constructor controller if you are going to map. But before that, we are going to configure the mapping. Okay, so the way how to do it is we have to create another class. first where we can create the mapping. Okay, I'll just create a new folder here from our booking API. Oh, I will choose a folder mapper. Let's see, folder mapper. And this one we have to create the, let's say, country mapper or say country profiles. The plus here. Okay, just specify it as a country profile. Okay. So this country profile will inherit the profile in our AutoMapper. So this is one is already just AutoMapper. Okay. Then we have to create a constructor here. And that constructor, that's that's the way we have to map. So source, that will be source will be to destination. Okay, so create map, for example, create map and yeah, the source and the destination. So what's our source is the country view. Model view country, view country. And then our destination is the country detail. Okay, so that's all. Okay, so in our API, country API, controller, country controller. So we can get rid of this because this is very tedious to do. And we will take advantage of the mapping, the auto mapper. So first we are going to register our mapper here in the controller. So we will add here the I will just name it mapper. Uh, create the property. Just create it manually, so we have to service read only. I mapper, status mapper, variable here. And then we have to pass from here mapper, mapper. So from that you can now use the map. So you can just have the country, video, video. This was the mapper that map. So what we are going to map here is the source. I mean the destination is the country read detail, and then the source is this one the country. Okay, let's try to run it. We get it correctly. So we have to try it out. We have an ID key, so we cannot display the ID. So it's working. We have the BU, country, the China, but the full BU name is null. So this is the problem why it's null. Alright, so we need to do something because if you see here in our country ready to, there's the BU full name, but it is not found here in our BU country entity. And then our profile here, we just create map source and the destination. But if you look at into BU country, there is no BU full name here, so there is no math. So how would we do it? We have to modify these country profiles and we have to include this command for members. Yeah, for all members, you can use it, but we have to specify for members. So let's say D, here's destination lang ba? D at D dot view full name, can assign it to option lambda option that mapram mapram, then we're going to mapram the source lambda source, that will be source that you have video. um, put like that and like that. So see, okay. So wait, what's the problem here? Source will be, we have to concatenate. Source will be like that. Source will be that. Video. System. Also, that country. Example, India. Okay, let's try. So we should not get the full name now, like earlier, because we map it for numbers. The full name would be equal to. Okay, we try it out. We get two, and we execute it here, and there you go. We got the beautiful name. We is China. Alright, guys. So that is how AutoMapper is being configured. You have to get it from the NuGet package, the AutoMapper that extension, that dependency injection. I registered it in the dependency injection in our program.cs, and you have to create the profile AutoMapper. So now if we need something, for example, we want to display the ID here. So basically, you just have to modify only one. For example, here in our R3DTO, you can just include here a ID property, and then for example, you want to include ID, and that's it. When we run this, ID will display. So nothing to change in the controller part, only in the data access object. So that's very good. I mean, uh, not prone to erroneous or bugs because you only need to change one item, and basically it will work out. Yeah, you can display the ID. And for example, if you have another object or property that is not part in the BU country entity, you just add it here, the country read detail. Okay, so we will not like to display the ID. So that's how AutoMapper works. So it's nice, right? Rather than creating this boilerplate code that you are transferring here, this is a lot of code to type, and when you need to change something, you have to change in your DTO property class, and you have to change also here. So tendency is prone to bugs because you have to need a lot of coding. Well, when you use AutoMapper, so basically it's a nicer code and it will map automatically. So for instance, if you don't, there are still lots of functionality in the AutoMapper. For example, if just you create map your country to your destination, it will just display you the matching one. And if it not match, then it will be null. So that is why we have the access this for members, and we specify that the DTO for view name, we are going to map from this one. And then there's are still a lot of you can configure in the AutoMapper. Okay, so that's for now, guys, about AutoMapper in .NET 6. So we are learning now how to take advantage of this library AutoMapper. So basically, this is the one thing that you need to add in your project or to use a library that is very useful in transferring or mapping from object to object. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something and happy learning. And if you want to learn more, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you will be notified in the upcoming video that we will be uploading soon. Bye bye.